welcome to another edition of the Pick and Downs podcast. I'm your host, per usual, Sean Tyson, here with Zoo and P. Bush. How you fellas doing?
Oh, well, man, that was not a baseball podcast, but an 18-inning World Series game.
Yeah, man.
They played pretty much 2 games to have a 6-5 walk-off outcome for the Dodgers. Got Game 4 tonight, huge game. But the Bulls, man, they got me a little hype. They're playing this team basketball, balanced scoring. Even Patrick Williams doing his
he had a sighting last 2 games.
He had a sighting, finally. Yeah, maybe he's worth a 4th overall pick at some point. But, $90 million later, you better hope he's at least giving you 12 a night sometimes. So, yeah, NBA's in a relatively full swing and got NFL. It's a great time of year for sports.
Absolutely. Fantasy football has been a beautiful year this year, man. 3-1 this past week. I took 1 L, but I'll take the L. The guy went off against me, but we have a beautiful 3-1 week. That's all you can take any week of the year. But as you mentioned, NBA is in full force, man. I actually watched some NBA games. Shout out to some superstars that are showing out right now because we're talking about the face of the league. I know we had this discussion years ago, and ESPN kept talking about it and had guys that they wanted to push. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows the real answer. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows the real answer, and it has not been a secret. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I think the NBA, with all the stuff, betting-wise, gambling-wise, has been kind of a black eye. One thing that's been very, very, very apparent is that the younger crop, and I would say more so like 6 to 7 year veteran that we kind of still see as young guys, they're kind of morphing into veterans. They're starting to take over the league, and that's really good to see because, to your point, too, about the face of the league, it's just a lot of different players who are vying for that. But there's one clear one that we're about to talk about right now, which is Victor Wembanyama. He's just been on a absolute tear. I think the Spurs also are undefeated, which is something to keep, to monitor because, a lot of people still had them as like maybe someone who's outside the lottery, or not lottery, but outside of the play-in, or maybe fighting for a play-in spot. So if they can keep up this momentum, who knows? But one of the questions I wanted to ask the guys is, and we know, full disclosure, very, very early NBA season, but it's been the first week, and we kind of want to get some ideas and see where everyone's head is at in terms of Victor and his potential to possibly win the MVP. So I want to get this question right, make sure I got it down. So basically, true or false, will Wemby win the MVP by year's end? And people, she can start off. I didn't want to say top 2.
False ain't a great answer, man. Can I get a potentially, a little multiple choice here, But I mean, look, he's 4 games in. To your point, we love a good overreaction on the podcast, man. And then we end up talking cute stories later on, or real deal, right? As we get closer to midseason and then into April, heading into the playoffs for the NBA. But look, I think the thing about Wemby, I think it's twofold. One, we've talked about this so many times, but your record is crucial to winning the MVP in the NBA. I think you have to be in the West this year. I think you could be a top 5 seed in the West. And if you are putting up the numbers, obviously he's not going to average what he has been averaging for 4 games. Yeah. He will come down. He will regress. Don't hate to use that word for someone who's playing so well, but regressing back to what he could be, which is like a 30-point per game scorer, man. But as long as it's like a top 7 record in the overall NBA, and I think in the competition of the West, top 5, he could easily be in that top 3 MVP conversation up there with a Jokic, maybe even a Luka, etc. So the thing that you kind of have to bet on is, one, Vassell, Castle, and Dylan Harper are all looking very solid in their own right. I've actually been super impressed with Castle, I think, more than anybody. Yep. Vassell's also playing well. Curious to see, and we talked about this during kind of our NBA preview. It's going to be weird to see how they run with 3 point guards when De'Aaron Fox comes back. I think really reports he's about maybe like a week, potentially 2 if they want to play it safe. We know how the NBA loves to load manage, especially coming off of a hamstring injury, if I remember correctly. So I don't think Fox coming back will just shut down Wembanyama's numbers. I still think he'll be the number 1 option. It could be possible that he's even more wide open, even though you can't guard the dude to save your life at any level of the half court there on the defensive side. And then he's averaging 5 blocks a game. I mean, this guy could He could win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I'll just put that out there right now. DPOY is probably a lock. I don't know what the odds are on that. I actually did not have a chance to look at his live odds for MVP. Once again, super early. They're going to be moving throughout the next couple months a lot, I'm sure. But I'll say this. I'll lean True 60%. I think he has a higher chance than maybe some other guys that we had been talking about in the preseason. But his health is the only other factor that I'd consider as well. He's just built like a kind of guy that I'm not trying to put this out in the sphere, but you said this, I think, in our preview. He's a guy that will give you 8 Hall of Fame level years, and then it's going to be a risk at how long he'll be able to last in the league simply because of his build, his height, and really his fragility, if you want to call it that. I mean, he's 7'5", 7'6", whatever it is, and he's built like a stick, man. He's put on some weight since he first started, but come on, man. He looks like Anthony Davis with glasses at Kentucky when he was a freshman, man. Sometimes it just gives that vibe. So he's an absolute monster. I have him easily as a top 3 MVP candidate right now. I would lean closer on the True side, but just a couple things I think with the Spurs in general. Like, we got to see if they're the real deal in a long run because record will be a huge factor in this decision.
Absolutely. Because right now, I'm going to give you the live odds right now.
Okay.
Victor Wembanyama.
Favorite?
Is second.
Okay.
Behind Shea. Shea obviously won it last year, and this year obviously the Thunder is kind of a lock to be, I would say, 60+ wins just based on their team, right? So best player, best team is one of the famous. That's one of the most easiest things that these voters like doing and not really overthink it. But that's why SGA is number 1. But Wembanyama at number 2 at plus 275 right now.
Wow.
So Jokic right now plus 375 to give you context, and Luka is at plus 500 and Giannis is at plus 1,200. So this is the context right now. So what this is telling that he's a legitimate candidate to win MVP this year. Where I didn't really have him at the beginning of the year just because I think the record-wise, as you mentioned, I project you need at least 50+ wins, probably closer to 55 wins to be in that conversation to win MVP. But the way they're playing right now, they're 4-0 right now. If they on this pace, and De'Aaron Fox, as you mentioned, hasn't played a single game yet with the hamstring injury with the young guys. If they win 54 games over that year-over-year improvement, you know these voters going to eat up that storyline.
For sure.
Off a blood clot coming. If he averages 30, 12, and 5, you give him the MVP. You give him the MVP, especially if you win 50 to 55 wins. Oh, yeah. Okay, those – because everybody knows he's the best defensive player in the NBA right now. It's not even a question. Like, I like the little futures bet in there. Like, legit, the only other side of him not winning DPOY, as you mentioned, is he's going to get injured, and that's the bet's going to go to nothing. But if he stays healthy, him winning DPOY is as easy as Steph Curry winning the number of 3-point shots made in a year. It's his award. He owns that category. So if he's the best defensive player in the year, and if on offense he's averaging 30 on 36% shooting from 3,
60 from the field,
60 from this dude's like Giannis, Kevin Durant, and Manute Bol's body. Like this dude, when he say he's an alien,
with Mutombo.
He's like this guy is legit. We've never seen a guy this agile for a guy that tall. Because we've seen the Yao Mings of the world. We've seen the Sean Bradley. They clumsy, they big, they look like a leaning tower. They fall down. Like Wembanyama is doing crossover Jamal crossover moves on people. Like some of those shots is freaking ridiculous. I don't know if you guys watched that Mavericks game, that game 1 showcase.
Yeah.
It was an absolute clinic. Like the footwork, some of the fade. It's shooting guard moves. You got a center doing shooting guard moves where this is nothing we've seen before. The NBA media just loves a new guy. And if you put up 30 points and your team wins 50+ wins, when the expectations, I would say, is around 40 to 45 wins. That was the expectation coming in the year. I'm making a bounce, but not making a jump, but not a massive jump. He has a legitimate odds. And if you look at the odds right now at plus 275,
I'm still taking Jokic at plus 375 right now.
Jokic at plus 375. That's my guy. So that was my pick at the beginning of the year. But what Wembanyama is doing scoring-wise, the key is the 30 points a game, which that is pretty hard to average. But if he does 30 points a game, that is an argument to give him MVP, which is crazy to say. I'm like, this is his third year, and last year it got cut short. So this is like his 2.5 seasons in, and this dude is this good right now. He made Anthony Davis look like a baby.
Yep.
He made Anthony Davis look like a top. Like when you watch that, it felt like varsity versus freshmen. Like legitimate. I'm like, Anthony, like if you imagine Anthony Davis is like, oh, this is like probably one of the closest guys that could kind of guard like Victor Wembanyama. He's 6'11", he's tall, great wingspan, very agile, can play pick and roll defense, can go off 5 positions. Wembanyama made AD look like JaVale McGee. Like he just looked like an absolute scrub against Wembanyama. If you watched that, I was like, it made Anthony Davis look small and mediocre at defense. And
they'll have found their face of the NBA if he wins the MVP.
Oh my! Like I remember when they were having those silly debates. Like I love Ant Edwards, but I've seen Ant Edwards. Victor Wembanyama is something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
In the history of basketball.
Agreed.
And so he just fits that prototype.
Trillion.
He's in San Antonio. They're going to develop this guy, and what he's done has been special. So for me, absolutely plus 275. I think those are very, very good odds of him. But as you mentioned, the wins, man.
Yeah.
If you win 42 games, I'm sorry, man. As much as I love you,
what would that put you seeding wise if you won 42? You think? Is that a play-in or what is that?
That's a play-in. You cannot
Easily
give the MVP.
play-in.
You cannot give an MVP to a play-in. That's like one of my rules. If you're 7 seed or lower, you just ruled out. I'm sorry.
I think
you can't be in the play-in tournament.
Maybe the West this year is an anomaly because of how stacked it is compared to the East.
But play-in, because even in the play-in,
you have I'm saying like if you're like usually a 6 seed, even a 6 seed, so you're not in the play-in, like a 6 seed, I still wouldn't give it to. But a 5th seed in the West this year could easily have 52 wins for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's the 50 plus. Like that's just the minimal threshold.
What would his numbers? Because see, that's what my thing is. Because we just said, like, all due respect to Anthony Edwards, like obviously we've seen guys like Anthony Edwards come in and out the league. Now, maybe not have his personality, which I think separates him from other guys.
Yep.
That were probably high flyers and all that type of stuff back in the day. But I do wonder because of, like, again, we're talking about anomalies. Like, he is something that, I mean, we may see again, but we might not be alive to see it.
I doubt it.
I'm with you on the play-in. But, like, if he's a 6 seed, and to your point, if it's hovering around, like, 48, 49, and he's putting up, and his numbers are insane, I think he gets a little bit of the, this is different. And to your point about face, I think they might just shift it to him. Now, if someone else, like, because if you're telling me,
Paulo,
and I don't know who else is even in the conversation, but if it's between Jokic and Victor, and even if Jokic is, like, the 3 or 4 seed. Jokic is not winning if Victor's a 6 and he's putting up these numbers. He's not winning it again. He's not getting it. And really, to be honest, no one can make an argument and be like, Jokic should get it again. Because, like, they're going to want to push Victor.
Go to Shea.
If I'm an NBA and now, like, see, I just forgot about Shea. Like, if Shea, he's not keeping up those numbers. But if he is in that realm where he's having a lot of these high leverage, double overtime, like crazy stat games that he could possibly repeat, because he's also another guy where he's the former NBA champion, and there's a storyline there. But I think with Victor, if, you know, like I said, he's not going into, like, right now he's 31-13 to his, but if he's in that 28 and, like, I don't know, 12, 13 boards, still stays around on those boards, and then you, like, say his shooting percentages or whatever, like in those ranges that they are now, which those will fluctuate.
Yeah,
it's just going to be hard to make the argument of, like, well, Jokic is the number 3 seed and he's averaging, like, listen, it's the narrative. It's the same thing with Bron. Like, we can't just keep going, because I think with Jokic, what we do is we just keep going to numbers. Cool, bro. We get it. You're a stat demon. But, like, this is about the league and furthering it. And we're not just going to keep giving you MVPs because you got the best stats. Sorry. That's what if I'm in the league and I'm Adam Silver, I'm making that very clear to everybody. Like, if Victor is continuing this dude, like, this is a guy we can market. We've already got him with one of the better franchises. Like, we want this moment. Because to your point, Victor is going to be a guy who not only is going to bring in his, or I guess hold a stable of, like, the guys who are already NBA and who are fans. He's going to bring out the people who are not the biggest fans in the NBA because he's such a unique prospect.
Yep.
Like, to your point, when they were playing against Dallas, like when he had that one reverse dunk, like his foot barely came off the ground. And I saw like the field level or like the court level of it. It looked insane. I was like, I couldn't imagine seeing that in person. And just the shock value of like just seeing a person that large and moving how he's moving. Because it's not like he's Shaq. He's dribbling the ball. He's doing pull-up threes. He's doing step backs when he doesn't have to do a step back because he's already got the advantage. But he's still doing it because he can do it and make it. So to me, it's like, if I'm the NBA, it's like, you know, we talk about the face. Like, here's your golden ticket. To your point, if he gets injured or if he's missing a bunch of games, then you're not going to give a guy an MVP if he's like, I don't know what the threshold is for awards. But if he's around that threshold, you're not going to give it to him because it's just like, he's not as efficient or it's not as many games to where you can enduring all the type of stuff you got to go through. But I think it's very, very possible. Like, I'm leaning towards true because it kind of feels like, because this is his third year, because I know last year he got hurt. It kind of almost feels like this is the like I don't know what other superstar you compare it to just
Derrick
like,
Rose moment.
Yeah, where it's like the team, because I don't know if Derrick Rose, did he come in like with the team just winning all of a sudden, or did he have to go through like lumps of teams losing?
It was a 500 team for his first 2 years, and that third year he jumped to that 62 wins, number one.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Where do I think they get 62 wins? But yeah, I think it won't be shocking just watching how they look too. Because like I said, it's not just Victor, dude. Like Castle, like he's taking a step. Like I don't know what's gonna go on with the other guard, Fox, but like
Harper,
all these guys look. Yeah, Harper. He's a legitimate guy.
Good.
And Vassell,
they look like they're gonna be fighting with 7 and 6, and it would not be shocked if they're a 6 seed because of the Victor factor. So to me, like, yeah, it's very true that if he is around, I think, to me, and this is just my thoughts, I think if he's even just near the 6, to your point, if it's 7, I can't do it because it's playing. Even though technically you could say 7 back in the old days is a playoff spot, but it's still just the concept of like
you wouldn't have given it
playing. Yeah, it's still a 7 seed, right? So that's just hard. But if he gets to that 6 and he's putting up insane numbers, I just think the chance of giving it to a guy like him is going to be very advantageous for the NBA. Just those factors alone, to me. Because like you said, it's not just, man, back to the basket or like tip-ins or just like what you think from a guy who's that tall. He's doing everything. Like, it is.
It's crazy.
Hopefully, I just hope he just stays healthy because
he's the whole package. Like, you can't say a single bad thing about it. Like, on the court, obviously.
What is his weakness?
His only weakness is his height. People are not meant to be 7'5" and moving
around. That's it.
Yeah, it's not normal. It's not normal. But maybe he is an alien. Maybe he could defy nature and move around like that as a 7'5" guard, because that's what he is. But he's the entire package. Like even off the court, like that, this dude's really, really smart. The media loves him. Like, he doesn't have any baggage off the court either. So I feel like to ingrace yourself with the media, who are the voters, you got to have a great relationship with the media. And I feel like everybody loves this guy. He already got Wendy in his court right now with the pom-poms going from LeBron to Wembanyama. He already made his next career move already, having a good relationship with them. So I feel like media obviously loves him. Obviously, the fans love him because he's transcendent. So he is every little thing. Just checking every box. Exactly. He's checking every box.
Yep.
And if he gets it at 21 years old, man, he'd be fighting for the youngest MVP ever right now. So
wouldn't he dethrone D Rose? I think he'd dethrone D Rose.
Let's see.
He was 22.
How old was D Rose? Oh, he's 22.
22.
Yep. That's Zoo. That's his only saving grace to potentially make the Hall of Fame, is that he's the youngest MVP. We got to wait a couple years and then get Rose in, and then Wembanyama can win 4 in a row. I don't give a damn.
And the thing is, too, is like the scary thing about it is, okay, let's say he does get it this year. I think he's going to be DPOY for the next 7
for the next decade.
So if he's just stacking, that would be
awards.
Oh my god! If he's just stacking DPOYs
coming
and
for LeBron.
MVPs, like,
dude,
he's coming for Jordan.
He's going for the GOAT.
Yeah,
man.
And that speaks to the like. That's why I think is if most people 50 wins. There's a lot of things going into this. I just feel like, because to your point, or I don't know who made the point, but like, man, it's the NBA really is searching for a face, and it's like Bron's on his last leg, Steph's going out. Like, they are looking for the guy, and this is like literally like your golden ticket. The NBA was just literally giving a golden ticket to NBA Faceland in this Victor. It's like what you just wanted because he also too is like how the game is evolving. Because it'd be different if Victor came up in 1995. He wouldn't be embraced as much because that was a different game. Even though they'd be like, oh, he's good and he's doing all this stuff, but like they wouldn't embrace it because that's not what the game is. The game is literally what his stuff is: shooting threes, step backs, finesse type game. So it's perfect. So health barring, yes, I do think it's very clear he can win an MVP. So maybe going from one alien to another. I don't think this guy's as big as an alien, but his work ethic is pretty alien, like in terms of Austin Rivers, or not Rivers, but Reeves. My bad. Oh man, my bad, Austin. I had him on the brain because I was thinking about him on this new thing with the NBA on NBC. I was like, or Prime, I think, or whatever. I saw a clip of him. I was like, he's with NBA Prime. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know he had a job with him. And that's actually disrespectful because Austin Reeves is
disrespectful.
I want to say 10 times a better player, but I would say 5 times a better player than Austin Rivers. So, Mr. Reeves or Mrs. Reeves, if you're listening to that, I mean, disrespect your son like that. But he's a baller. He's a baller. And these first couple of games, with Braun obviously being out and Luka, I think, being out for like a week or two, he just showcases his work ethic and what he can do. So it started to get me to think about, like, there's some familiar names in the Western Conference in terms of like backcourt mates and guys. And we all know the dudes who are pretty much the perennial all-stars, especially when it comes to backcourt in the backcourt in the Western Conference. But I was thinking to myself, like, is it possible, especially with it teetering with like Braun, we don't know when he's going to come back, they say a month or whatever, but even with that, he might have reduced minutes and he's asked to be more of a, I guess you would say, yeah, because he would be the secondary scorer to Luka. He's asked for more of that role. I kind of wanted to frame the question as, could Austin Rivers become an NBA All-Star, true or false? And Zoo, you go ahead and get the first crack at this one.
Okay, we're talking about Austin Reeves here, right? Not Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves. Shout out to Austin Rivers with his media career now.
It's stuck on it, yeah.
That just ended. Like, I didn't know he retired. I was like, oh, I just see him on The Ringer. Now he's on TV now. Good for Austin Rivers. He could talk.
Yeah.
He definitely could talk, but Austin Reeves is still in the NBA, and this dude is averaging 34 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. Just think about that right now. I know it's a small sample size of 4 games, but without Luka Doncic, he putting up Luka Doncic numbers. Like,
yes.
What Austin Reeves is doing is actually unheard of, because if you look at this guy's pedigree, he had no resume in college. Like, he was not a high-ranked.
None.
Like, it was nothing. like Billy Bean Bryant, like Hillbilly Kobe Bryant, whatever he was called. Like, he had no pedigree. He came in undrafted, 7 points a game, a nice little role player, cute story. 13 points, slowly gets better. 16, okay, we got a real veteran. Now you're a rotational guy. Went from a cute story to a rotational guy, and now 20 points a game. Okay, this is a third level scorer now. And now what he's doing without Braun and Luka Doncic, I'm just like, damn, man, Austin Reeves is putting up that, like, it's actually unfathomable thing, because I'm thinking about this right now. Nico Harrison, man, you didn't make a call to get Austin Reeves too with
that's
that.
The first thing I thought about.
That's I don't know if you got heard with the Mavericks. Jason Kidd, the head coach. Oh, we're struggling at point guard right now. We're struggling at guard right now. Austin Reeves, we're gonna fill the void, because he does. It's like a Luka light version. Like he's a taller guard, more of a combo guard, but he put up 10 assists a game. Okay, I'll give you a point guard right now. He put up 10 assists a game right now, but he kind of plays like another Luka, a Luka light version. So what he's doing right now is unbelievable. Like, his agent right now is probably like just counting the money right now for that max contract. Because right now he definitely underpaid right now. He definitely underpaid right now, especially in this NBA when you got Emmanuel Quickley making $30+ million a year. Like, so that is the context right there. And
shout out to Masai Ujiri.
Yeah, Masai Ujiri just blew up the Toronto Raptors, giving them that much money. So you're talking about crazy. A guy in Austin Reeves who's a bigger point guard, and he's a 20-point a game night now. Like, he's established himself. He's a primary scorer. And, well, LeBron really did trust him even when he was glimpsing in the playoffs. So he's a playoff guy too. So even in the postseason, he still put up pretty good numbers, 17 points a game, as pretty much a third option for his entire career in the playoffs. So as a third option in the playoffs, putting 17 points a game, he doesn't really shrink in the playoffs. So if you're looking at what he's done right now, especially if Braun is doing this injury thing, this load management, like 40, like, yeah. If LeBron takes a seat, and if Luka, I don't know, Luka also got banned up again. So if he has a moment to shine, if you put up 20, let me just be conservative, 24 points a game, 24 points a game, you can make yourself a legitimately all-star conversation, especially if Luka and LeBron misses multiple games right now. Like LeBron, who knows when LeBron's going to come back? Because I think he's just kind of load managing for the playoffs already. Like that's what LeBron is. Like he kind of just he's 40, like he's old, so pretty much the regular season for him is just kind of a joke now because he's played so many years in the NBA. So if you're looking at Austin Reeves right now, he's been asked to carry the franchise, which is funny to say. So absolutely right now by his pace, it's crazy. It's crazy to say, but based on his production right now, he's like James Harden. He can do the free throw line 12 times a game.
That's huge.
Right.
He's got the star call too, which is kind of a little strange.
Yeah, I'm like,
because he's
that
good.
Game against Sacramento where he had 22 free throw attempts. 22 free
or maybe that's the Lakers effect. I don't know.
He's a lot more physical than people give him credit for. I think like he's and yeah, Zoo, it's funny you said 24. I literally wrote down if he's averaging 23 to 24 points a game by the time All-Star break comes, he's not a starter. Just because of how stacked the West is.
No,
obviously.
Starter.
Obviously not. And it's probably very possible that he ends up getting like as a reserve type status or, filling something in. I think he makes it though. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. I thought of all your prompts, John, that we're going to go through today on the NBA side, I thought this was actually the easiest one. I mean, he's showcased to me that he's
I had another question, but
okay, but he's going to jump LeBron as the number 2 option. If all three are healthy between Luka, LeBron, and him, he is the true number 2 option. It's just that unfortunately, both him and Luka, to Zoo's point, like Luka, yeah, he's a point guard, and I get it, but he's also a combo guard, really at heart. He is a combo guard. They both need the ball in their hands to be successful, and I do think that Reeves' playmaking ability is showing the coaches that he has more in his bag, just entirely as a player than just giving you 20 points a game, hitting a big 3 and playing some relatively solid defense, So I do think he's a reserve. I think the only thing that'll bite him in the ass is more so is LeBron going to be like, oh, this is my last year. I need to shine a little bit.
Oh, this ain't his last year.
Wait.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be, right? But at the same time, it's like, will that take anything away from him being LeBron last year? Instantly is. I just think the West is too stacked. I do.
I think I couldn't get the last part you just said. I just heard you say West is too stacked. I think my thing was going.
I just said the West is too stacked.
Okay. Yeah, I think. See, because where I really wanted to go with this was like, and this is the hyperbole. Is like, do you think he could make an All NBA? And I was like, that's kind of steep. And that's only though, I think it's only because Bron's on the team. I think if they said tomorrow Bron's out, I think there's a really outside chance he could make an All NBA. Like be one of those like last, whatever, like third team All NBA. Because just with usage and how his game is, he's gonna have like a really, like how they say, like a pretty stat line. Like his stat line's always gonna be nice. Now he's not obviously gonna be, because I'm looking at his stats right now. He's not averaging 35 a game, right? But like to your point, if it's 24, 25, and then he's in the 8-9 assist range, and then like 7-8 rebounds, because that's another thing, he rebounds decently. Like I don't know, man. And I do think that ideally, if I'm JJ Redick and management with the Lakers, what I would love to see is Luka obviously be on an MVP arc and stay healthy, because that's one thing Nico has. I will say, Nico, we all know he made the stupid trade, but one thing he's been kind of correct about is Luka ain't really been healthy. Like Luka's been in and out of the lineup, and if that continues, then the Lakers could still win. But it's like if he's not on the floor all the time, it's gonna be tougher. But I think ideally, if you're Lakers management and you're JJ and your staff, it's like, first off, you love what you're seeing from Austin Reeves. You're hoping that, I don't know, he just becomes like a Jokic type defensively, where it's like, hey, you're not gonna be stopped. And it's a little bit harder at guard because you got to kind of be able to move your feet. But it's like just be, just maybe better. And he's probably a good team defender. Just be a little bit more of a plus side of, I guess, the plus minus when it comes to team defense and individual defense. That's all you're hoping for. Nobody, is thinking he's gonna be a two-way guy. But I think if you're that staff, you're like, hey, man, I want Luka to be Luka. I want Austin to assume the number 2 role, and I want Bron to pick his spots when he needs to dominate. That's how I want the pecking order to go, because as much as LeBron has been impactful for that team, you got to think about obviously what it's going to be once he retires, which I don't know when that's going to be. But come on, man, like Luka obviously is your number 1 guy. Austin is proving to be a solid number 2. And if say just Luka wasn't on the team, like Austin, I think is being a 1A, 1B to another, like just say 3-and-D wing or like another spot. Like if Devin Booker was on his team instead of Luka and LeBron wasn't there. Like I still would love the Lakers if it was Devin Booker and Austin, because Austin's skill set is he's very comfortable with the ball. He can make decisions. And it's just not a lot of guys, especially two at his size, that can do that. Like Austin is a true playmaker. He's very comfortable in moments. He makes his free throws. And like to your point, Zoo, like he doesn't shrink in the playoffs. Like he can play. So to me, and he's had some moments where he's made big shots. Like I still remember that. I think it was his first or second season when he made that one big shot. It was Memphis and Dallas. I think he made a huge shot where it's just like, and that might have been like his second year. With LeBron, I think it was his second
they called a play for him.
Whatever.
I remember that.
Yeah. So like it's basically he's a legitimate guy. Like All-Star is obviously a real thing for him this year, but points are going to go down. But I just think he could sneak an All-NBA. And like if the Lakers are in like contention, like it could be like third team All-NBA is not. Now if he makes first team, second team, that's like all right. Now you're just talking crazy. But like end of go look at like the third team All-NBA is like maybe Braun or whatever.
There's always a hole because I would always say especially for the guards, right? I know they say it's not by positions, but these writers are doing it psychologically.
Yeah, they're doing it
for sure.
And you got Ant-Man, SGA, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic. Those guys are kind of locks at like the guard position. So it's always that last team, and he's going to be fighting out with like the Cade Cunninghams, the Jalen Brunsons, those type of guys. So Austin's going to compete with those guys for 2 spots.
It's a tough tier.
Very tough.
Guard is hard.
It's very, very competitive. Very competitive.
Very competitive. Are there futures on the All-NBA teams?
I don't believe so.
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually surprising. Well, the NBA isn't deep enough water. They're fine.
I'm about to say the NBA's got a lot of things.
Imagine they find out voters from the All-NBA voting finding out who they voted on.
That's actually crazy.
Nothing would shock me anymore. Nothing would shock me anymore. So
no.
If I read that, I just turn over on my other side of the pillow and go back to sleep. It's like same news.
Another day.
But same old. But yeah, shout out to Austin Reeves. Got your name right this time. I feel like you're on a trajectory, man. You're on a trajectory. And I'm actually interested to see when Bron comes back that their pecking order and like maybe he empowers or do whatever. But we'll see with that. But rounding out this trio of questions, wanted to get more into the NBA rookie class, which, as an aside, just looking at all of the dudes in this class, like there's a lot of guys that can get buckets, can impact on defense. Like this draft class is shaping up to be one of the better draft class in a while. And there's a lot of guys that's just balling. Like I was even looking the other day, like Cedric Coward, I think, who Memphis, because it's not surprising. Memphis always just knows how to pick wings.
Of course.
But just super fluid, off the bounce, just one hand jump. Like I was like, all right, man. Like these dudes that these guys are finding in the draft, it feels like they're going to be guys who are not just 2-3 years and they're overseas. Like they're going to be getting into their second contract. So one of the guys that got picked, I think third, was VJ Edgecombe, who went to the 76ers. And there's a lot of discussion with the Sixers and just what's Joel Embiid's health, what's Paul George going to do. Tyrese Maxey is a baller, of course, but like what is going to be their, I guess, plan in terms of how they're going to compete in the East this year. And that first game, when I think it's first or second game, whenever they played Boston, and I just saw how explosive he and Maxey was, I was like, interesting. A guy off the bounce can shoot. That's the one thing that's been kind of like, oh, that's a nice revelation. Kind of want to get the guys' thoughts, people you can finish this off with. Do you think there's a possibility, true or false, that VJ Edgecombe can win Rookie of the Year?
I'm so glad you asked me this question because I had a future place last week on VJ Edgecombe, man. I mean, he's at plus 135 right now. And you look at his competition, he's second right now to Cooper Flagg, who's minus 105. He's the favorite, but not heavy favorite. I think that's something we do have to consider when it comes to our obvious expertise on Las Vegas sports books. An obvious is at a minus 200, 250. And a lot of times in a lot of recent drafts, we've seen a lot of that because there's like one stud dude that really stands out, like a Cade Cunningham, for example, right? Something like that. So I think – but if you look after Edgecombe, there's a bit of a drop-off. I mean, I think Dylan Harper might be in like the plus 1,200 range. I mean, I could be wrong there. It might be a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's right around there. So look, I think the thing with him, man, he's averaging 25, but the most impressive thing I think is he's also putting up 6 and 6. assists and rebounds, also giving you 2 steals a game, playing a little bit aggressively. Obviously I like the involvement in more than just being like a microwave scorer and, just being kind of a guy off the bench, because we know what Maxey can do and this is his team, but we also know who runs the league. And we've talked about it. It's big wings that can shoot, can be aggressive, gets the line, but not only that, but are making quality decisions on playmaking side too. And a rookie putting up 6 assists in his first game, shooting 50% from the field and 40% from 3. I know he's not attempting a ton of shots a game, but it's still, come on, man. He's giving you 25 points as a rookie right off the bat. So to your point, Sean, I said it. It is Tyrese Maxey's team. This is not Joel Embiid's team. Right now, it is not Joel Embiid's
established.
Mm-hmm. And, once again, to Zoo's point earlier, small sample size. We got to see how it pans out. But I think he's getting more rope from coaching staff than Cooper Flagg is in Dallas. That's just what it gives me. Maybe it's just the need of the team. Obviously, Cooper Flagg is usually on the court with Anthony Davis. I know he's going to end up bouncing. I think what is he averaging? Do you know Cooper Flagg? He might only be like 15 a game at this point. The first few.
I believe it was around 16 a game, but it definitely dropped after his 2-point performance. So
yeah, and look, I'm not gonna base Rookie of the Year off an October 2-point performance to VJ Edgecombe's first 4 games, but I would say that if you're deciding between him and Flagg and you can get him at plus 135, I think they're going to hold that race pretty much the entire year, unless Dylan Harper, who could be playing behind a potential MVP and not get as many opportunities for the ball, especially when Fox comes back too. That there's really no other guy. Yeah, there's a great rookie class, but we're talking about Rookie of the Year here, the best rookie making a true impact on your team. Cooper Flagg's, like I said, competing for rebounds with Anthony Davis, things like that. So I just think VJ Edgecombe, I would argue that he should be the favorite right now. So if you can get him at plus 135, nice for you. I got him at plus 270.
It's crazy to say, because for me coming in the year, I had Cooper Flagg as my prediction, the lock, the consensus, the favorite, because he was the best prospect coming into this draft. But this kind of reminds me of the race between Ben Simmons back in the day and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I remember that rookie that was highly debated because you got Donovan Mitchell. This guy kind of came out of nowhere. Like I remember Summer League was when we got who's this guy from Louisville? He's putting up some buckets, but what he did for Utah that rookie year was special. And he's a combo guard, kind of similar to Edgecombe, like a bucket getter. Looks like he's not afraid of the moment. Obviously, after that first game performance, it's not normal for a rookie coming in and dropping 34 points. That is not normal behavior. So he's in that Donovan Mitchell mode where this guy's coming in, super athlete, great scorer, 3-point shot. I had a little question. It's falling so far. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the year, but looks like his form looks pretty decent. So, if he becomes an average 3-point shooter, what he's done as a 6'4", 180, $180 right now is special. It's a special start for him. A special start. Because I'm I didn't expect this guy dropping 20 points a game, especially on that Sixers roster with a Tyrese Maxey who's going to dominate the ball. But it's crazy to say on the Philadelphia 76ers, the biggest question mark on the roster was the former MVP and the guy that gave a max contract in Paul George, because Maxey, he's showing up. The rookie, he's getting 20 points. And they're looking at the veterans and be like, we need some help right now.
That's the energy.
If they played just 80% of their reputation, that is a championship contender right there.
Facts. They are, yeah.
If you look at that roster,
Embiid was healthy, oh
my God. If Embiid was just 80% of his MVP form and Paul George was just 70% of playoff, that is
in the
East.
East.
Yeah, in the East with an Oubre, that's a stacked roster. But obviously, we've seen those two guys. They look like they really went past their primes. Holy moly. It looks like they've been a time machine. Those guys look completely post-prime right now. So sorry for Sixers fans, because, man, if they aligned perfectly, that would have been a championship roster. But what Edgecombe done is amazing. But I'm still going to lean Cooper Flagg because that was my futures pick, the Rookie of the Year right now. So I'm a little biased there. And I'm thinking more of a complete player on the stat line, because I think he's a guy that will be able to get the rebounds. I know he's competing with Anthony Davis, but he's going to be out there a lot. Because I don't know about Jason Kidd running him at point guard. That is not the answer.
They need to make a
I
trade.
don't know what I know you had Giannis on Antetokounmpo and you did the point Giannis. No, Cooper Flagg's away. Like,
Yeah.
he's a power forward. Let's stop this buffoonery. I know D'Lo sucks, but
he's not really a point either.
Like, he's not a point.
Yeah,
So they don't really got a point guard right now. So they're grasping at straws right now. I think what Cooper Flagg could do is defensively, what he has an impact. You can be an immediate defensive guy, get a bunch of steals and blocks, fill up the stat sheet that way. I think he averaged 7 rebounds a game and a bunch of assists because the team got a lot of shooting and assets. And AD is still a guy where he could play off and Anthony Davis, not be the primary focus on the defensive side of the field. So I feel like for him, like he can average that 16, 17 points a game, give you 5, 6 rebounds, give you 3, 4 assists and a steal and a block. I feel like the all-around game they're going to give it to Cooper Flagg, but Edgecombe is absolutely legit because if he puts up, I would say 22 a game, you can make a legitimate argument of him winning it. Because
if he's putting 22
I wasn't thinking like, oh, this is a lock. Like Victor, DPOI, lock in my opinion. Cooper, rookie of the year. No, it's not locked no more.
No.
It's been unlocked and I got to shout out to the other rookies outside of Edgecombe because what Harper's doing off the bench, holy moly. Like him and Wembanyama, like it's crazy because I feel like if they knew they were able to get Harper in the draft, they would not have traded their assets to get De'Aaron Fox. They would not have done that trade. Harper fits the time frame of Victor Wembanyama, and he's a polished rookie. Like he is a polished, like Mike. He averaging 16 points off the bench. Like this guy's probably never played off the bench his entire career and be able to be confident enough to come in and maintain and dominate the field with a lot of good point guards. Like Stephon Castle's out there starting at point guard. That guy was a former rookie of the year. So him coming in, playing combo guard, playing off of him, playing off ball, on ball, and he's averaging 16 points a game. That is phenomenal. And this class, guys, my God, people have showed out. Like you got Trey Johnson and the Washington Wizards putting up 17 points a game. You got Cedric and the Memphis Grizzlies putting up almost 19 points a game. Like these guys are coming to play right now. So this draft class, there's a reason that it was like the Cooper Flagg sweepstakes. But if you look at that top 10 or top 11 right now, there's a lot of ready-made prospects who are making an immediate impact in the NBA right now. And that is something awesome to do right now. So, yeah, shout out to this rookie class getting it done.
Sorry about that. But, I mean, here's my thing. I think VJ, to you guys' point about just the rope, and he kind of just has a little bit of he's just on go because right now Paul George is not really playing. Embiid's, I guess, load management, doing whatever he's doing. I kind of just assume that at least for this first half of the NBA season, it's going to be a lot of VJ and Tyrese just putting up crazy numbers because they're going to have the leeway to do it. And I guess whenever McCain comes back, maybe that eats into what he does. But him and VJ are two totally different athletes. So I still think VJ is going to be able to get his shots and do what he wants to do because Jared, while he's shifty too, like he's still more of a spot up shooter and can maybe, get in the mid range and do some stuff. But I think it's very possible. Like I lean more towards True because of just the nature of, to your point, that's a great point you brought up. I think it was Zoo or whoever brought the point about Donovan Mitchell. Like, man, looking back on it, I know it's hindsight's 2020, but it's like Donovan Mitchell should have won it because it was just looking at what he was doing as a rookie was very, very, very different. And also, too, like at his size, people were just looking like that's why it's like I don't know where he got picked. I think it was first round, but it's like everybody think he's like he's gonna be an off the bench scorer.
12th pick.
Yeah, it's like he's gonna be an off the bench scorer. People was like putting him as that was gonna be a ceiling, but it's just I don't think people realize too like his wingspan was a little different, and like in NBA, like even though he is shorter, that helps, and also being an extreme athlete. So it's the same thing with VJ, like extreme athlete, very easy handle, like, and also too like. Who knows with the shooting, but it's just the shot and form looks good. So to me, if it ticks down to like maybe 36, 37, whatever he's shooting from out there, that's still going to keep the defenses honest. And him and Maxey, like they might be 1 and 2 with like first step. They might be like Maxey is first and then VJ's like probably right behind them. Like their first step is insane. So to me, it's those guys, especially as a rookie. Now we're not talking about what the trajectory would be like as a, NBA All-Star and All-NBA, but like just right now as a rookie and what they're going to be looking at is I almost feel like voters are just looking like, all right, how many points did he average?
Yep.
I mean, is the team like, the 76ers now looks like they're probably more than likely going to at least be in the play-in or in the playoff or bottom of the playoffs. So it's like that's going to be in your favor. And too, there's something, man, like I like Cooper, but Cooper is more to me. I've always thought he's more of he fits the best as like if it's a playoff series, like he's going to be that more impactful. But he's more of a two-way guy. Because, like, I don't put him in a class of, like, Ace, VJ. I'm trying to think of, like, other guys in the class, like, as shot getters. Like, that's the thing about Cooper where – because I don't think he's, super explosive athletically. I think he's a great
game
two-way
come
player.
to him more than –
Yeah, he's not a – he's an integral part. Like, he's a hub. Like, a hub player.
He's he's like Bam Adebayo.
But more got a little bit more to him, his game. Like I think Bam
jumper.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more field jumper, and he's probably a little bit more like can get off the bounce a little bit quicker. But that's where his game, I think, is his strength is. So like I think he would be better for team fit player. So that like what I'm basically saying is I don't see him having more of the explosive games like a VJ or any of these other guys who's basically VJ's role is to just score and lob and make exciting plays. And two, he's probably gonna have more wild plays. Like Cooper has a couple because he's not scared and he'll posterize you. But VJ, just because of his athleticism, like that block he had on Banchero was that was the most impressive play I think he's made this entire season. Like just getting back on defense and jumping with the 6'10" guy or whatever. Like it just, he looks different. And gotta shout out Daryl Morey, man. He just knows how to pick him. He knows how to do it. He did for all his faults. I know he put all the money in James Harden, ain't win anything, but Daryl Morey. And some would say, like, why'd you bring Paul George? Whatever. Like,
he's not good at signing, Sean. He's good at drafting.
Yeah, he's definitely good at drafting. And
trust the process.
I don't know. I would love to see what direction they end up. And obviously, it's still early, but like, what direction they end up going? Say it's December 18th, and now we got 2 to 3 months of real sample size, and VJ still playing at a high level. Like, what do you do with Paul? What do you do with Joel? Because obviously, the biggest thing is people be like, we'll trade him. But, like, I don't know what that is this year, maybe in the offseason. But it's like, if Joel, to your point, I think, bro, let me get like 70, 75 of that. Paul George, 60%. They're a good team. And, like, in that Eastern Conference, that could be interesting. Now, am I expecting VJ in the semifinals to be averaging 22? No. But if he then ticks down to, like, 15 or 18, and then Tyrese, because to me, I think Tyrese, even though this is not about like it's about rookies and not Tyrese, like, but how he's playing, like Tyrese, I don't know. It's just they're so explosive in that backcourt. Like, I don't want to be blasphemous and be like they're like a top 3 backcourt.
Oh, stop.
But like, dude, their potential is there.
Too small.
It's
too small
there.
Sample size. Too small.
Like it is small, but man, it's just VJ. Because
Tyrese,
we all know. Because listen, I was the last one to come around on Tyrese. Now Tyrese, like he's a legitimate score. Like I don't know what other guard at that size do you want other than like Kyrie in the league. Like he's a 6'3" guard, like a 6'2", 6'3" guard. I don't know a lot of them. Like Tyrese, scoring wise, he does it at all 3 levels, fast as hell, and he can boom it on top of your head too. Like he's not just a below the rim player. It's not a lot of the Dames, all those guys are gone. They're leaving. Like Jalen Brunson, he's tough and he's whatever, but like just
he's a different style.
And Tyrese, as you mentioned, his style of play.
He plays more like a young guy.
Yeah, it's the
3-point shot.
His speed is just like even for the NBA, it's a different level of speed that he brings. And that pace of the game where he can control the game just by him with the ball in his hand and just be a one-man fast break. And he's an elite 3-point shooter too. So
that's the thing. His shot is good.
Mm-hmm.
His shot is really good.
Yeah.
Fluid.
Yeah. Him and VJ, like that guy plays with pace too. So he just got that speed.
That's what I'm saying. They're just downhill.
It's like
that's
these two guys that are bulldog. Like these, like Tyrese Maxey is mentally tough. Like Joel Embiid, I've always said that dude is not mentally tough at all.
No,
like, that guy is weak mentally up there. But Tyrese Maxey, we saw it as a young pup, the edge that he played in the playoffs, that mentality where you can't teach that. Some people are just tough mentally, and some people in pressure just get melted, man, absolutely melted. But Tyrese Maxey has proven he's that guy. And this VJ, man, if he has that same mentality that he's shown in his first couple of games, they got another dog in there, man. And that backcourt is This is a stacked
Like the thing with
backcourt.
VJ,
This is a stacked backcourt.
he like his create bag is not as deep as Anthony Edwards, but like his movement and how he's just explosive down. He kind of looks like he's just a little bit smaller.
Yeah, he's like a very
short,
fluid
shorter,
athlete. Like he had this layup where he just kind of just glides and floats it in. Like he just looks like such a fluid athlete out there. It just
I don't know. I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm literally trying to rack my brain. Like
I like that potential backcourt of like being top 5 in the league if they continue on this pace. Because I'm like duos, like the backcourt. I'm trying to think like what other backcourts could get the potential of being like that good. Because there's like one guy. There's guys that's like one guy, like Steph, obviously. Reeves and Luka. I would rather have Reeves and Luka, but that's because they're veteran out. But like it starts getting slim.
Yeah.
It starts getting slim to where you know. So I don't know. That's just really nice to see for the Sixers fan because they've been through hell, bro. Like Embiid gives you an MVP season, and the next thing you know, you're like, you're high enough to draft VJ Esco. So it's like, what the hell?
No,
you shouldn't go that
bad
way.
year ever. That's the consolation.
And I would say to close it out, I'm saying like I would run the team as it is currently through this year just to see what it looks like. But I'm not mad if they were to make a trade and figure it out because there's going to be a sucker that would take. I mean, I don't know. I guess you would include maybe Paul too as a trade. I don't know.
You got to get rid of Paul first. I would say.
Yeah, but someone.
I don't know who would take Paul. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's this class, man. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I don't want to compare them to like whatever other draft class, but they got a lot of dudes. Got to make a real quick shout out to Colin Murray Boyles too, South Carolina grad. Sophomore. He was the only one last night, even though they got smacked by the Spurs that had any heart to win against Wembanyama. So, like I said, I like their team too. It's just they got a lot of misfit parts, and I guess quickly the $30 million. I guess it wasn't worth it. So, again, shout out to Mazai Mashal, man. He hooked him up. But going to our NFL bets, P. Bush, I guess you want to maybe mention on what you had last weekend and get into what you got going on for bets.
Well, my Flacco lineup did well. I mean, Flacco, he's super cheap at this point. Unfortunately, DraftKings is starting to catch on. They're increasing him up a little bit. Not too expensive, but really, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, man, Bijan was played by 50% of everybody in major contests. And I had him in every single lineup, just like I said last week. So no major money. Had a little bit of money back in a couple contests, but not a huge week. Breece Hall, I only had him in one lineup, but he was. You had to have a combo of Saquon, JT, Breece Hall. You had to have two of the three. It was damn near impossible to get all three unless you were starting a bunch of Troy Franklins. And you know what? When I started Bijan, my main stack, I think I might have said like I was fiddling between like Woody Marks, DeAndre Swift. The other guy I had in one was RJ Harvey, and that one actually ended up doing well because he made money back, and I was still able to afford some other quality, higher level players. When you play an RB that cheap and he hits, like even a Tyjae Spears last week too.
Oh yeah,
it's that type of play that'll get you big money where you can pay up for a stud. Unfortunately, I just picked the wrong stud in Bijan Robinson. So this week, I know I didn't say it last week, but you got a great game that's expensive to pay up for in Kansas City and Buffalo. I would lean probably on the Mahomes side just because we've talked about the Buffalo Bills defense being a little bit iffy here and there. But it's also very expensive to have such a high price quarterback. It just ruins pretty much the rest of your lineup unless Josh Allen gives you 40. So I'm staying away from that being my main stack. I am going to go with Joe Flacco again. He's playing against my Bears. This could end up being an absolute feast fest on both sides of the ball. We saw what Justin Fields and the Jets did. Come on, man. I think Caleb Williams can do a little bit of something there. So I'm going to bring in Chase stacked with Flacco. I got Roma Dunze in that lineup as well as a nice little bring back. I would not be mad at starting Swift if you want to go that route, which I probably will. I'm teetering between him and Vidal. Surprisingly, Vidal is more expensive. He's skyrocketed week over week, and I do think the matchup against the Titans is also one of the big reasons for that. We saw what Jonathan Taylor just did. Not comparing the two players, but the opportunity, and I do think they'll feed him. I think the game script will feed that way. So Pittman, an absolute touchdown merchant, and he is still under $6,000 as a wide receiver. I'll take that any day of the week in another matchup that I think could spark some solid fantasy output in the Colts versus the Steelers. Steelers, man, their defense is good. Sean, we always talk about TJ Watt. But, man, teams are putting up points against this defense. So I don't think you should be scared, playing against them. So that's why I do like – and, you could do a Daniel Jones lineup. I do think I'll for sure be doing that as well. Throw in whoever you want in there on the Colts side. Then I got your boy here, Zoo, man. I was considering – I was like, I need a cheap wide receiver. Who do I go with? $4,500 race. Travis Hunter. Give me Travis Hunter against the Vegas Raiders. Brian Thomas, we got to see. I think he still might have a questionable tag to his name going into early parts of this week. Obviously, we're filming this on a Tuesday, so more to come. Got to see how BT Jr. is. But I liked what Travis Hunter did in the last game that they had before the bye week, man. Trevor Lawrence, I like him. I think he trusts underneath throws a little bit more. It's great.
Easier to
make, and less potential for mistakes, right? Less air under the ball. And at that price point, a guy that's gotten 10 targets in a game, I will gladly jump on that. So there, and then just because I do need, even if I'm not doing a Josh Allen Mahomes stack, I think you got to get somebody from that game in almost every single lineup because we know what that game's going to turn into. We've seen it happen year over year. So on the cheaper side, I'm going to go on the tight end. I'll get Dalton Kincaid. I know he's had a bit of a quiet last couple games and was out and missed some time with injury. But look, I'm not touching. The only other person on the Bills side of the ball that's worth touching, not named James Cook or Josh Allen, is Khalil Shakir, and you're still taking a big risk. He needs to make a huge play in a yak potential situation to really be scoring a touchdown. He's not a red zone threat, not at all. So I like Kincaid cheaper this week. I think he's around 4K. And he kind of has those boom bust weeks, man, and very much fluctuates from week to week. So they're going to need to throw the ball against this Chiefs defense. I think their main goal will be to stop James Cook after what we saw him do to the Carolina Panthers last week. So, yeah, I'm staying away from that. But Dalton Kincaid, give me that. And once again, I'm giving my weekly update. Jonathan Taylor is now at $9,800 to start.
Jesus. Worth every penny.
Worth every penny, man.
Every penny. Wait, that dude is – those touchdown runs ain't the push like touchdowns. Those are some man touchdowns.
80-yard.
Oh, my God. Just week after week. He does one of these.
He's got 14 touchdowns. 14 total touchdowns. That's just
legendary. We're watching a legendary year by legendary. So.
He might outperform Saquon last year.
Damn. Break the record.
That's absurd to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll have a lineup. I might have to do it, man. But
yeah.
It was great when Daniel Jones was cheap and you could stack.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah.
But now Danny Dimes has got the respect on his name purely because that offensive line, man. They're doing wonders for everyone.
For sure. Man, I got to recap a little last week's peak, man, but I don't understand the Texans, man. I picked the 49ers to cover the spread. The Houston Texans, they might have the best defense in football.
For sure.
And that offense was actually looked pretty, CJ Stroud looked pretty good again. This dude is the most volatile. I can't figure this dude out. I cannot figure, he's without his best weapon in Nico Collins. And then goes out, has a QBR of 88, throws for 300 plus yards, gets 2 touchdowns. He had 1 pick, but he was throwing it to Xavier Hutchinson, Jalen Noel, and Woody Marks, and he was pretty productive. The run game was all right. At 157 total rushing yards, but the thing is, this Niners team rides and dies with Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't have a good game on offense,
they shut him down.
Yeah, they shut him down.
That defense is for real.
Yeah, that was obviously the game plan coming in. We're not going to let CMC beat us. That dude had 8 carries for 20. When was the last time CMC had 8 carries for 25 yards? He had less than 80 scrimmage yards. He had one.
Probably when he got injured in a game.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly. I'm telling you, that guy is one of the most productive players in the history of football, and him getting shut down like that, the 49ers ride or die with CMC, and they absolutely died because they only put up 15 points against the Texans defense. Got absolutely destroyed. So, man, shout out to the Texans for that defense. The offense, I still can't figure out this offense. Woody Marks, Nick Chubb as a rushing attack. CJ Stroud has been having a pretty bad year, overall this season, if you guys agree with that. But
Yes.
I really
Yeah.
can't figure out this.
Moody Marks is solid.
He's
I thought he
solid,
looked
but
better.
yeah, but this offense is just like sometimes it looked like one of the worst offenses in football.
It's ugly.
And with doing this without your number one receiver, Nico Collins, is just really, really impressive.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I'm looking at that right now. I'm like, damn, that is a crazy, crazy blow. It was an absolute blow. I did not predict that. Absolutely not at all. So, my God, that was a brutal pick. Like these,
I had Texans money line in my parlay zoo.
You did?
Yeah. I was just like, dude, I start their fantasy defense a lot. And I had
the
him in
defense.
Dynasty.
Yeah, defense is good.
And I was like, come on. Yeah. Like that 49ers offense is, even with Kittle back, I was like, it's just so bad. Like they have no flow outside of CMC.
Yeah,
But
CMC was the guy that was going to carry them to victory.
Yep.
But this week, I'm picking a team that's actually their offense is legit, regardless of the defense. And I'm going with Dallas Cowboys -2.5 on Monday Night Football against the Cardinals. The 2-5 Cardinals.
2.5. Wow.
Yeah, 2.5. They're
That's,
at home.
yeah, that's
They're at home. And one thing I know about this Cowboys,
see.
that offense is absolutely legit. Obviously, last week
Oh,
they played
yeah.
against the Broncos team where that's a legit defense, and it kind of stifled their pace of the game.
First
and they were
place.
destroyed. I give you that. Okay, well, give it a couple of weeks. The Chiefs will take back that first place, where they deserve. Chiefs Kingdom back up, dominating the division with the Chargers. Not afraid at all. But if you're talking about this Dallas Cowboys team, one thing I know is this offense is absolutely humming. Dak Prescott, I think I said at the beginning of the year, he's doing his best impression of Joe Burrows this year. It's the high-octane offense. You got no defense. They keep airing the ball out. George Pickens. That's all I got to say. He's having – I know you guys love T. Higgins, but I was like, George Pickens is like T. Higgins, but way cheaper.
True.
You
Not
for
long.
Yeah, I'm about to say not for long.
Yeah,
They
way
don't have to
cheaper.
pay him.
Yeah, but George Pickens right now, what he's doing, like he's having a career year. He already has 685 yards and 6 touchdowns this year for George Pickens. So he's actually having a career year right now. CeeDee Lamb is back, so that's adds another dimension to the offense. Take away some of those Jake Berg targets, like
No.
you saw the little donut that Jake Berg had last week. So
Brutal.
CeeDee Lamb, a little more explosive
Broncos.
player, so he's going to get those slot receiver catches. So that offense, Javonte Williams, that dude's a goal line back because every time I see him at the goal line, he scores.
Yep.
Like you got some guys, they get stuffed all the time, and some guys like a Javonte Williams with this offensive line, they just punch it in. It's kind of easy actually. Like every time Javonte got a touch at the red zone, it just went in. So I feel like this offense could definitely do some work in this Cardinals deep team, and this Cardinals got to keep up with their offense. I know the defense for the Cowboys are horrible. Maybe Kyler Murray finally has a better game, but this is a team that's been on a massive losing streak right now. So they're on a 5-game losing streak. Their last one's against the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. So that resume isn't that good. This Cowboys team is definitely up and down. They win a game, they lose a game. They haven't won or lost a consecutive game all year. All year. So it's win, loss, tie in the game, win, loss. Like that's all they've done this year. So after a loss, they're going to get back to the win column. They're just one of those teams that's going to hover around 500 all year. So I see them definitely bouncing back against a struggling Cardinals team. 2.5.
That's a generous spread for them. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's low because I just feel like I know Dallas' defense is so bad, but it's like Arizona is.
Who's their running back? Like, who is their running back? They waived Carter.
Bam Knight or
Bam
something.
Knight is the running
To
back.
be fair, Trey Benson will be back in a week, I think.
Not this week. Not this week.
Yeah, I know, but next week.
Like who is their RB room for this week?
Bam
Knight.
Knight and Amari
That's it, right?
DiMercado.
No, he's injured. DeMarcada's injured.
Who's
Well,
the
then
other-
I don't know after.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm just saying, like they don't have a running. They
Yeah.
got rid of Michael Carter for some reason. Like at least have him out for another week at least. Like they don't really have a running back room right now. So not gonna lie, I will be smashing Bam Knight in the starting lineup if that guy's getting at least 17 touches
Against that defense.
and against the Dallas Cowboys defense, especially
Mhm.
that juicy matchup right there. But yeah, I feel like with Kyler Murray, no rushing game, no real true running backs. Marvin Harrison, kind of another bad year. Like Trey McBride is an absolute stud. So yeah, Jacoby Brissett might. I don't know. Is he better than Kyler Murray? I don't know. All I gotta say, that
He
is a
runs
question.
I think he runs that offense better than Kyler because Kyler's
sure.
more of a, I guess you would say, like just in the backyard lot. Like that's just his
Mhm.
type of game, which produces more explosive plays. And if you're rolling, then he is the quarterback that's going to get you to the blowout. But Jacoby is the reason why he's been in the league so long, man. He just knows how to operate offense. He knows how to get the football to the right receivers. He just knows how to do stuff. That's why it's just that line is weird because I just feel like Arizona's kind of on a trajectory down. And I
Tanking.
think a lot of it gets to, or a lot of this is going to get to like, what are our questions going to be about Kyler? But yeah, I'm with you, Zoo. But Dallas and Arizona, I'm more so just picking like Dallas to win just on the money line more so because I think that line is weird and Vegas knows more. But I just feel like Pickens, like all their guys are back. It could get to a point where you're looking up, it's like, dang, they're down that many points. So I'm with you on that. The rest of these games absolutely suck because they're either really, really close spreads or like big spreads. So to me, I was looking at the other one, like New York Giants versus 49ers. 49ers are beat all to hell. They got to go across country. It's plus 2.5, and that's more so because they just looking at the 49ers record, I feel like. And it's like, oh, they're 5-3. They'll compete. But, I mean, the Giants have been feisty, and I know they lost Cam Scatterboo, but I'm not sure. Is Tracy coming back?
Yeah, he
And if not, I think
Tyron Tracy.
Oh, he did?
Tracy will be the guy.
Yeah, so he showed promise last year.
Yeah, he had a good season last year.
Yeah, he wasn't like spectacular, but I mean, he got close to. He might have had over 1,000 all-purpose yards. So,
Yep.
the thing is, he's a good player. And the thing is that just sucks about that is because like Cam Scatterboo was like kind of just been more of their like heart and soul. So it's kind of like a lot of their momentum was Dart and him combining playing great football. So, but I just think cross country plus 2.5. I think the Giants, their defense will still be there to play. That is a play you can make. And just really quick looking at those two, that only brings you to 226. So then I was just like, do I want to juice it up a little bit? Listen, this play is like take a chance, but if you were to make this play, this puts you at 5-10 and it makes your odds a little bit better. But anytime I see double-digit spreads, I'm just like, it's still the NFL, and guys have pride. So I'm looking at Tennessee's not even on the thing, but New Orleans has got a quarterback change. Maybe that sparks some plus 14.5 against the Rams. That is a lot of points. I know New Orleans is bad, but it's like the only other double-digit spread that I saw was Carolina and Green Bay, and
no chance.
I think Andy's probably still going to play. No. So it's just like I couldn't really see any of these other spreads that I looked at. It's like, oh, I can throw that up. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at. I don't know what Jaden's status is. He coming back this week?
Probably.
I mean,
they need
Commanders
him.
are plus 3.5, so you could get it right now if But I feel like it's that because they don't think he's coming back. So if he does, Thursday or Friday report comes out. Let's just say he does, and you look at that plus 3.5, and it's at home. You can take that and put you at plus 494 with the Commanders at plus 3.5, or you could do plus 150 of them winning the game. I still think that would be a tough game even with Jaden because Seattle, like I said, I think they're one of the dark horses. But again, another cross-country flight, like who knows, maybe a little jet lag. So if Jaden plays, that's another good play with the money line or the plus 3.5. So like I said, my most confident one is Dallas. I think Dallas is going to win that game. Because Dallas still, I think, they're 3-4, 3-5, or what are they?
3-3-1, 3-4.
Yeah, they tied, so they might be 3-3 or 3-4-1. So they're not like completely out of it. So I know their defense is going to make it hard for anybody to pick them to be serious in anything. But I mean, just to win games throughout the season, maybe who knows? And Dak's playing really well, so I think that's the one I'm most confident in. But yeah, I would keep an eye on the Washington one because if Jaden plays this week, that number is probably going to go to like at least 2.5 maybe, or like a 1. So I don't know because they need him. Washington was one of my picks, and they're not looking too good.
It's good they got Terry back.
Oh, well.
You know what?
Like Mariota.
They shouldn't have traded Brian Robinson. They shouldn't. I know he's not a stud, but Jacory, he's not there yet, man. He's a 7th-round rookie for a reason.
I won my matchup because of Jacory, so appreciate you, dog. that little two spotter. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Same. I mean, I
Appreciate
played
you,
against
man.
him too. I was like, let's go.
Listen. Who would have thought like it was Ja'Cory or whatever versus the what's the other back? McNichols, I think the other back.
Oh yeah.
He had like 11. So I was like,
Hey,
thank
he had
God
a
I
bunch of
didn't play
receiving
him.
yards. He was my RB2 in my 14 team league.
Yeah.
I was so desperate. I was like, oh, he got it, caught him all.
And I like Mariota. Like they were going against Kansas City's defense, but I mean, the fact that it's cross country and maybe Mariota Daniels plays, like Mariota's not bad. He's good. He's better with Cliff Kingsbury, but I don't know. We'll see. So, those are my bets. And like I said, the last week bets were just once I turned on the Dallas and Denver game, I was like, all right, man.
The defense is too good, man.
Yeah, Dallas is, and it also is risky to be picking Dallas because their defense is so bad. You don't know what could happen. So they could.
Quarterback looks like a Hall of Famer
Arizona could
against
go.
the Dallas defense. Every quarterback looks like a Hall of Famer against this defense.
Yep,
it's insane. It's actually insane. Every quarterback looks so good.
Yeah. So those are our NFL bets of the week. Like you said, we're going to be giving those out every single week for the rest of the regular season, and maybe we'll dabble to the playoffs. But gave you guys the NBA fix, NFL fix. Like I said, we're basically in what some would not some, but most would call the sports equinox. So enjoy the baseball. Like I said, people beginning talked about at the beginning of the pod, man. Like watching the MLB World Series is pretty intense. And like I said, I didn't stay up and watch it, but it was really cool to see the highlights waking up this morning and all that type of stuff. So make sure you guys are tuning into all of that. Tyson Talks _ Instagram, Tyson Talks _ on TikTok, YouTube, Quantro Knows, putting out different content. Make sure you view us on Apple, Spotify. All the links are in the bios on all of those pages. And for me, Zoo, and P-Bush, we are out.